Welcome back to another Elle in the Moon tutorial for the final part of this DIY pants or DIY short pants.
There you go. Hips don't lie and it start to feel alright. Is that so? The heat though, the heat, baby, beep, boop, beep.
All right, folks, let's start off with a confession. These pants were supposed to be longer, but I accidentally cut prematurely. This is Kina, my usual model in them, and information for how to do your cuts, how many cuts to make, and what the measurements are in centimeters and in inches is at the very end of the video. It's not a very long video because I'm just finishing up. If you're catching up from the last video, I just continued working around the leg, and now I'm going to add 2 rows of square knots, like about 10 to 12 inches below where I was before, just to enclose the legs, and that's basically it. And if you remember from the previous video, I ended up adding in a fabric material insert into the crotch area because I didn't like how bulky it was. So you can just do the method that I showed in the previous video as well, where you work down about 8 inches in the middle, a square row upon row of square knots. It's basically 9 per row of square knots for the crotch. And then you can connect it with use an embroidery needle and basically do a ladder stitch to connect in the middle. You'll leave the left and the right sides loose so that you can continue on like I am doing right now. I am basically using 4 different cords and going around and making left square knots all the way around so that it connects. This will speed up so that you can kind of see the process in quick time. If you're watching these videos, you know how square knots work at this point. So basically it's 1 row and then I do a row beneath. right, that's as good as it gets for now. I did this last part on a hanger because that was the easiest way for me to go around here and basically close up the leg holes. It's a little wrinkly right there because I had to unfurl some rope from a previous project to use. But you just need to go around. I just did 2 rows of square knots and everything is kind of closed up in here. So you can just do this on an old hanger and hang it up somewhere as you work.
This portion right here of the short pants measures 4 inches. It is 21 rows. In order to make this longer to reach your belly button, instead of hip hugger length, you will need to do 40 to 45 rows. Okay, that's a considerable amount of rows.
So you'll need to cut 52, 58, 64, 70, and 76 pieces of cord respectively for each size. 52 for small, 58 for medium, so on and so forth. If you are going to do it the way that I've shown you in the video, we're at in the middle. You will need to add an additional 12 cords in the middle for the way that I've shown you. If you're going to work this all the way around in a round and not have to add this in afterwards, like I did because it wasn't at first the pants. It was the pants and then it was the cape and then it was the pants. Then you can, it will be, if you work in a round, a small will be 64 cords cut, 70 for a medium, 76 for a large, 82 for an extra large, 88 for an XXL. So you just need to add another 6 cords to round up from the previous side upwards on either side. So there it is. On the left, la izquierda, or el izquierda, I have the measurements for the tutorial that I show you in the video. We're adding the cords afterwards. On the right, 64, 70, 76, 82, 88 is if you're working around where there's no disjointed part at all. Now, in the middle, I add in these cords. There are, let me see, 18 additional cords where I linked on because that was like the edge of the cape. And those cords measure, you'll need to measure 40 inches or 102 centimeters. The rest of the cords measure 148 centimeters, okay?